Born around 1988 in the small town of Bondokuy, Ibrahim Traoré's journey from a humble beginning to becoming the world's youngest-serving president is nothing short of remarkable. Traoré's roots run deep in Burkina Faso soil. His early life in Bondokuy and education in Bobo-Dioulasso set the stage for an extraordinary path. This ambitious young man entered the University of Ouagadougou in 2006 and emerged with honors in 2009. But Traoré truly found his calling in the army, which he joined in 2010. His commitment shone bright as he fought against jihadist insurgents, serving in Burkina Faso's toughest regions and even joining the United Nations peacekeeping mission in Mali. His turning point began on September 30, 2022. At just 34, Traoré led a coup that reshaped Burkina Faso's future, toppling interim president Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba. The year 2022 marked a pivotal moment in Burkina Faso's history, a year when the tides of change swept through the nation with an unexpected force. Captain Ibrahim Traoré led a military on September 30th, dramatically altering the political landscape of the country. This coup was not just a power shift, it was a profound statement against external interference and a call for a new direction. The coup unfolded rapidly as Traoré and his faction within the military seized control, effectively ousting interim President Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba, who had himself come to power through a coup just months earlier. The events of September 30th were a culmination of growing dissatisfaction within the military and the public towards Damiba's leadership, particularly his perceived inability to effectively counter terrorist threats and his alleged closeness to former colonial powers. Traoré, in his 30s, represents a new generation of military leadership. His role in the coup was not just that of a leader, but also as a symbol of the younger generation's frustration with the status quo. In a statement following the takeover, Traoré criticized the previous regime's failure in handling security issues and vowed to restore stability and national sovereignty. His words, "We are not here to monopolize power. We are here for the nation," resonated with many Burkinabés. The 2022 coup was more than a mere change of guards. It was a reflection of a deeper, more profound desire for change in Burkina Faso. It signaled a move away from traditional power structures and external influences, particularly from countries that once colonized the region. The coup's swift execution and Traoré's leading role in it were clear indicators of a new era, not just for Burkina Faso, but potentially for the broader African continent. The ascent of Ibrahim Traoré to Burkina Faso's leadership marked a definitive stance against Western influence in the country's affairs. This rejection of external control has its roots in a history where African nations, including Burkina Faso, often found themselves under the significant influence of their former colonial powers and other Western countries. A shift is noticeable in foreign policy and national rhetoric under Traoré's leadership. He openly criticized the role of former colonial powers in African politics, arguing that these influences have often been detrimental to the continent's true independence and development. His government called for a re-evaluation of Burkina Faso's relationships with Western nations, seeking a more balanced and respectful engagement that prioritizes Burkina Faso's interests. One significant area where this shift is evident is in military strategy and alliances. Traoré's regime was vocal about reducing reliance on Western military support, particularly from France, which had a long-standing presence in the region. This move aligns with his broader strategy to strengthen internal security forces to address the challenges posed by terrorist groups more independently. Ibrahim Traoré articulated his perspective in a revealing interview after a year in power, consolidating his forces and solidifying his vision. His analogy was striking. When you aim to protect the edges of a table, you typically don't remain confined to the table itself, rather you extend your efforts beyond it. This statement encapsulates his approach to regional security and counterterrorism. Traoré's reflection on African countries' response to the crisis in Mali since 2012 and Niger highlights a passive stance that, in his view, allowed terrorism to take root. He questioned, if African countries had provided support to Mali, or if Africa had backed Niger, would terrorism have taken root there? His doubt was clear. He observed a pattern in neighboring states, a lack of anticipation and preparedness for similar occurrences, which he deemed a critical mistake. His argument was straightforward yet profound. Proactive and preventive actions by African countries could have negated the need for foreign troops and aid. This approach emphasizes collaboration among African leaders to move beyond their borders and launch a broader operation against terrorism. It's not just about fighting terrorists within one's own country, it's about extending support and defense strategies regionally. Traoré's comparison to protecting a table's perimeter underscores the importance of being proactive rather than reactive. This means initiating measures like offering support and aid to neighboring countries that are vulnerable. He suggested that adequate support for nations like Mali and Niger could have prevented the escalation of terrorism and instability. Traoré emphasizes the role of regional collaboration in preventing the expansion of security threats by highlighting the need for sustained support and cooperation. He proposes a collective approach among neighboring states, a strategy that could have potentially stopped the spread of terrorism within the region. This vision is not just a defense strategy, it's a call for unity, foresight, and a collective response to shared challenges. Ibrahim Traoré embarked on a mission to forge new alliances, transitioning from his strategic vision to practical implementation. These alliances, both within Africa and with non-Western global powers, are crucial pillars in his blueprint for an independent and self-reliant Africa. Traoré based his approach to alliances on the principle of mutual respect and shared goals. He has been actively engaging with African leaders to foster a sense of unity and collective strength. He focused his efforts on creating a network of African nations that support each other in security, economic development, and political stability, moving away from traditional dependence on Western support. In addition to strengthening intra-African ties, Traoré has been reaching out to non-Western powers, seeking partnerships that align with his vision of autonomy for Burkina Faso and the continent. These include engaging with countries like Russia and China, known for their interest in expanding their influence in Africa. Traoré sees these partnerships as opportunities to diversify Burkina Faso's foreign relations and gain support without the conditionalities often associated with Western aid and investment. A significant aspect of these new alliances is the focus on security cooperation. Given Burkina Faso's challenges with terrorism and instability, Traoré has been seeking support in military training, equipment, and intelligence sharing. He believes that a robust, regionally supported military force is essential for the stability and security of not just Burkina Faso, but the entire Sahel region. Captain Ibrahim Traoré embarked on a strategic diplomatic maneuver to reshape Burkina Faso's international relations in October 2022. He aimed to distance the nation from France, its former colonial master, a trend mirrored by other African countries experiencing coups. But Traoré's vision extended beyond severing ties. He sought to establish deeper and more balanced relationships with global powers. Traoré's policy of diversifying allies was grounded in the principle of equal respect and non-alignment. He stated, "Burkina Faso is not anti-French. It's against policies that allow neocolonialism to thrive." This stance underlined his commitment to forging partnerships based on mutual benefit, not historical ties or external pressure. This diplomatic shift was evident in Traoré's interactions with influential nations. A notable instance was his meeting with Ahmad bin Abdulaziz Kaitan, an advisor to the royal court of Saudi Arabia, who brought a special message from the Saudi king. The meeting, veiled in secrecy, was an assurance of strong bilateral relations. The two leaders discussed Burkina Faso's participation in the Afro-Saudi Summit and the Arab-African Summit in November. These summits may yield several agreements, signaling Saudi Arabia's willingness to support significant projects in Burkina Faso. Similarly, Traoré engaged with Liu Yuxi, the special representative of the Chinese government on African affairs. Their discussions revolved around bilateral relations and shared interests. China expressed support for Burkina Faso in defining its development path and maintaining national security. The Belt and Road Initiative was also on the agenda, presenting Burkina Faso with opportunities for broader international engagement. Traoré's engagement with Russia marked another significant shift. Following the expulsion of French troops in February, Russia emerged as a crucial strategic ally, particularly in military collaboration. Traoré described the cooperation as open and constructive, signaling a move away from France's long-standing influence over Burkina Faso's military training and equipment. These diplomatic endeavors reflect Traoré's commitment to redefining Burkina Faso's global standing. By engaging with a diverse array of international partners, he seeks to ensure that the country's foreign relations serve its interests, not those of traditional powers. This approach is a clear departure from the past, reflecting a new era in Burkina Faso's international diplomacy. As Captain Ibrahim Traoré steers Burkina Faso's military strategy towards greater independence and security, he simultaneously focuses on an ambitious economic plan. His vision is to transform Burkina Faso into an economically robust nation, independent of Western influence and leveraging its natural wealth effectively. Traoré confronts a paradox that has long plagued Africa: the continent's vast natural resource wealth juxtaposed with persistent economic poverty. Africa is home to about 30% of the world's mineral reserves and 40% of its gold, yet it remains one of the poorest continents. This phenomenon, often termed the resource curse, sees countries rich in natural resources underperform economically. Traoré's goal is to overturn this trend in Burkina Faso. Central to his economic strategy is tackling the issue of food self-sufficiency. He has openly criticized African leaders who depend on foreign aid, including free food supplies. He cited an example from July 27, when President Vladimir Putin announced the shipment of free grain to Africa. While acknowledging the gesture, Traoré used this as a call to action for African leaders, urging them to ensure food self-sufficiency for their people. He emphasized learning from nations that have succeeded in this regard, suggesting a shift from dependency to self-reliance. His critique of leaders who are happy to receive freebies reflects his broader philosophy of economic independence. He envisions a future where African nations, including Burkina Faso, do not run to external powers for their basic needs. Instead, they should harness their abundant natural resources to build sustainable, prosperous economies. This economic vision complements his military and diplomatic strategies. By fostering economic robustness and self-sufficiency, Traoré aims to reduce Burkina Faso's reliance on foreign aid and influence. Traoré and Sankara, echoes of a revolutionary legacy. The parallels between Captain Ibrahim Traoré and Thomas Sankara, the iconic revolutionary leader of Burkina Faso, are striking and have led to comparisons that paint Traoré as a modern embodiment of Sankara's ideals. Sankara, assassinated on October 15, 1987, was known for his transformative vision for Burkina Faso, particularly in addressing poverty and foreign dependence. Sankara declared his economic ambition to provide 2 meals a day and drinking water for all in Burkina Faso in October 1984 at the United Nations General Assembly. This statement epitomized his commitment to addressing fundamental human needs in the face of adversity. The early 1980s saw a devastating famine across Western Africa, affecting Burkina Faso, Mali, Chad, and Niger. In response, Sankara, then a young captain, staged a coup against the French-backed leadership on August 4, 1983, a move that resonated deeply with the Burkinabe people. Sankara's policies aimed at reducing foreign debt and mitigating extreme hunger won him widespread admiration. He was a visionary who sought to empower the people of Burkina Faso and reduce foreign influence in the nation's affairs. Fast forward to the present, Traoré, often referred to as Sankara incarnate on social media, shares a similar ethos. While Burkina Faso continues to grapple with the challenge of hunger, the country faces an even more pressing issue today: insecurity. Traoré, much like Sankara, has shown a strong commitment to addressing this critical challenge. He has pledged to combat extremist violence and has sought support from new allies, including Russia, emphasizing the need for training, equipment, and intelligence for his soldiers to effectively counter militant extremists. Traoré's approach mirrors Sankara's philosophy in many ways. Both leaders have shown a willingness to challenge the status quo, particularly in terms of foreign relations and national self-sufficiency. Traoré's pursuit of diversified alliances and a stronger, more independent military strategy are reminiscent of Sankara's efforts to emancipate Burkina Faso from foreign dependency and internal crisis. However, while their visions align, the contexts in which they operate are markedly different. Sankara's era was defined by the Cold War dynamics and a global wave of anti-colonial sentiment. Traoré's leadership unfolds in an era of complex global interdependencies and heightened security challenges in the Sahel region. In essence, the comparison between Traoré and Sankara is not just about their shared ambitions for Burkina Faso, but also a reflection of the enduring legacy of Sankara's revolutionary ideals. As Traoré navigates the contemporary challenges facing Burkina Faso, his leadership is continually measured against the transformative impact of Sankara, a testament to the lasting influence of the iconic African leader. While Captain Ibrahim Traoré's vision for Burkina Faso has garnered significant attention and praise, some political observers caution that concrete achievements are yet to be realized. This viewpoint is essential in assessing Traoré's true impact on the nation. In essence, while Traoré's ambitious plans and strategies have set high expectations, the true measure of his leadership will be in the tangible changes and improvements he brings about in Burkina Faso. As he navigates the complexities of his position, the focus will be on his ability to transform his bold visions into concrete realities that positively impact the people of Burkina Faso. We've come to the end of this video. What are your thoughts on this great man? Share with us in the comments. Remember to like this video and subscribe to the New Tourist channel. Also turn on notifications to stay updated with our latest uploads. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.